Fujii Kaze's newest single, Hachiko, caused a bit of drama within the fanbase. LiSA and Ame are back for the Demon Slayer movie. Ado's mystery song from her concert finally revealed, and the most influential male idol group in Japanese history is officially coming to an end. We'll be discussing all of these in this edition of Monthly Dose of J-Pop, where I talk about notable J-Pop news over the past month and songs I've been listening to. Let's start with probably the reason why you clicked on this video, the debate surrounding Hachiko. A while ago, Fujii Kaze announced that his next album would be his first English album, so fans knew that they're entering a new era of his music. But when his new single Hachiko dropped, part of the fanbase was still taken aback by how different it sounded compared to his older songs. The keyword here is part of the fanbase, because a lot of fans still enjoyed it. But this time, the number of fans who didn't enjoy it was probably more than ever in Fujii Kaze's career. Now that's actually a pretty common reaction whenever an artist decides to try something new. But what made me want to share my opinion on Hachiko is that it symbolizes a shift in Fujii Kaze's music toward a more unpredictable future. Is he going to become the first him? Or is he going to become the second Wanokoroku? His Japanese music and lyrics are unique, distinctive, and make him one of the best singer-songwriters in Japan, and even globally. But if you give up what makes you special, you could end up in a similar situation to Wanokoroku. Ever since they went full-blown Western, even though they still release songs like Wasted Nights, which is one of my favorites, most of their other releases just sound like generic rock to me. So when it comes to Western bands, I'd rather listen to the likes of Coldplay, Gorillaz, or Kasabian instead. Now what turned the release into a bit of drama was when people started voicing their opinions on the internet, as you do. So you now have a fraction of fans who don't like the song and shared it on social media. And on the other side is another fraction of fans who think those who dislike the songs are either haters or should keep their opinion to themselves, because they might hurt Fujii Kaze's feelings. Before I share my opinion on that, I want to talk about my thoughts on the song first. Fair warning, my biggest curse is that I'm always extremely critical of my favorite singers. I'm genetically unable to enjoy everything they release, and I never think they're perfect humans who can do no wrong, kinda like how sports fans treat their teams. I think the biggest challenge when Fujii Kaze decided to make an English album aimed at international audiences is that he's risking being buried in the sea of pop and K-pop. Because musically, you're basically competing against them on their turf. And lyrically, Fujii Kaze might be one of the best Japanese lyricists, but it's a whole different game in English. In Hachiko's case, the song doesn't really appeal to me, because if I want to vibe to songs with Western production, I can listen to Avicii, The Weeknd, One Republic, the list goes on. And if I want to connect to English lyrics, I'd rather listen to Coldplay, Taylor Swift, or Phoebe Bridgers. The only reason I listen to Hachiko is because I like Fujii Kaze. The song is supposedly about the touching story of Hachiko the dog, but if you take away the title, and the endless repetition of it's actually got pretty generic and empty lyrics that could slide into almost any pop song. And I know for a fact that Fujii Kaze's talent is beyond that. So that's my stance on the song. Paradoxical, isn't it? Would I still listen to it if it weren't a Fujii Kaze song? Probably not. Would I still have these problems with it if I weren't a fan of his? Probably not. That being said, Fujii Kaze himself claimed this song as the most unserious track from his new album, so just take my reaction to this song with a grain of salt. If anything, I'm actually even more intrigued by his third album after Hachiko. Like yeah, it was a swing and miss for me, but I see a lot of potential. Back to the drama I mentioned. Some of the fans aren't happy that people are criticizing Fujii Kaze's music, because it might hurt his feelings. So there was a bit of friction. The way I see it, fans have every right to protect their favorites from haters. But criticizing his music isn't hate. It's a natural reaction to something as subjective as taste. If anything, I think those trying to cover up the negative reactions are actually doing a disservice to Fujii Kaze, because he's still growing as a person and a singer, and facing criticism is a chance to improve. Is he at a point in his career where he wants to make whatever he likes and doesn't care about others' opinions? If so, then negative comments do not affect him. Or is he trying to grow his international fanbase with this new sound? If so, then even though negative reactions can be soul-crushing, it'll help him learn what does or doesn't work with international audiences. So that's his decision to make, not the fans. Next up, LiSA and Ame are officially back with new theme songs for the Demon Slayer movie coming out this July. That will be both LiSA and Ame's first return to the series since Season 2 back in 2021. This is massive news for both the anime and for me, because even though I really enjoyed the songs from Season 3 by Mide and Men with a Mission, Season 4 was fine, not particularly memorable for me. None of them felt like Demon Slayer theme songs to me. whereas Gorenge, Homura, and Zankyo Sankai really capture the emotions and historical backdrop of the series. It also helps that Demon Slayer's run from season 1 to 2 is still my favorite part of the show, so I'm truly excited that they're returning for the first chapter of the grand finale, and hopefully they'll be back for the rest as well. On to the next news. Ado released her new single, Stay Gold. What made Stay Gold a notable piece of news for me is that I went to Ado's concert in Melbourne before the song was released, so when the intro started playing and I couldn't recognize it, I was very disappointed in myself. I'm not gonna pretend I like every song at first, but at least I should know them. You can't imagine my relief when she started singing in English, and the crowd realized it's a new song. That's not the last Ado news for this month. Love Live announced a tribute album for their 15th anniversary. So far, we know the lineup includes Ado and Miku, with more artists to be revealed later. Onto some more unfortunate news. The singer, Inoue Sonoko, best known for a feature on Mrs. Green Apple's massive hit, Tenbyo no Uta, is taking a break from singing due to lingering issues with her throat. The decision was made after consulting with medical experts, although currently there's no timeline for her recovery. She told fans not to worry because she still plans to continue her singing career once she's fully healed. Before we move on to the next segment, there was one piece of news from May that I didn't have the opportunity to cover. One of, if not the most successful idol groups in J-pop history, ARASHI, has announced that they're holding their final tour in 2026, and after that, they'll officially disband. The announcement came as a bittersweet surprise for their fans, because the tour was initially scheduled for 2019, but was cancelled due to COVID restrictions. The group's activity pretty much ended at that point, so this newly announced tour will give people a final chance to say goodbye, but it also makes everyone realize that it's really the end of an era. Moving on to the songs I've been listening to over the past month. This is a J-pop channel, but I still want to shout out to Hemingway by Girl in Red, an incredibly beautiful song. Alright, coming in at number 4 is Tengoku Iki by Kadode. Kadode is a music unit formed in 2017 and made their major debut in 2022. While the group has a clear musical identity, they haven't quite found their way into the limelight yet. Fun fact about Kadode, the lead vocal, Koshi, has a sister who happens to be the former lead vocal of Wednesday Campanella, Komuai. At number 3 is Stay Gold by Ado and Jax Jones. I've been hooked on this song ever since hearing it for the first time at the Melbourne concert. The 2010s EDM boom was having a renaissance in my playlist over the past few months, so Stay Gold came out at the perfect time. Ado's great as usual. Her English is definitely still a work in progress, but the biggest props go to Jax Jones for making this banger. At number 2 is Myakuhaku by Rokude Nashi. Rokude Nashi has been one of the hottest rising stars in J-pop since making their debut in 2019, and their breakout hit, Tadakoi Hitotsu, has reached 100 million streams on both Spotify and YouTube. Myakuhaku perfectly amplifies the lead vocal Ninjin's clean and beautiful voice, and will probably end up as one of my favorite songs of 2025. And finally, at number 1 is Sennichikan by Noah. After talking about one of my favorites of 2025, now it's time for what could become one of my most listened to songs of the year. Noah has already taken the spot of my most streamed song last year, and now with Sennichikan, if she can keep up this pace, she might be a serious contender to enter my favorite artist group. This has been Cushion. See you next time.